Oliver the gnome stood at the edge of the jungle, staring in awe at the vast wilderness before him. The trees were tall, their thick trunks covered in moss, and their branches stretched high into the sky, forming a green roof above. Birds of all colors darted between the leaves, chirping melodious tunes. Oliver adjusted his small green hat and tightened his backpack straps. "This jungle is full of mysteries," he whispered to himself, eyes twinkling with excitement. "Time to explore." He took a step onto the jungle path, his boots sinking into the soft, earthy ground as a gust of warm air greeted him. As Oliver ventured deeper, the jungle seemed to change. The trees became taller, and thick vines hung from the branches like long, tangled ropes. Oliver noticed that these vines weren't ordinary. They moved ever so slightly, swaying even when the wind was still. Curious, Oliver reached out to touch one, and to his surprise, it wrapped around his hand. Startled, he tugged his hand free, giggling. "You're just playful, aren't you?" he said, smiling. The vine gave a soft wiggle, almost like it understood him, before gently releasing him. Oliver continued onward, his steps lighter now, feeling like the jungle was welcoming him. Oliver heard a rustling in the trees above him and looked up just in time to see a small monkey swinging down from a branch. The monkey landed in front of him with a cheeky grin. Well, what do we have here? A gnome in our jungle? Quite unusual." The monkey chattered, hopping from foot to foot. Oliver laughed, surprised by the talking animal. "I'm Oliver, and I'm exploring." The monkey's eyes sparkled with mischief. "Exploring, eh? Well, you'll need to be quick. The jungle can be tricky. Follow me. I know the way." And with that, the monkey scampered up a tree, swinging through the vines, while Oliver rushed to follow. As they made their way through the jungle, the monkey led Oliver to a hidden grove where strange flowers bloomed. These flowers weren't like any Oliver had seen before. They glowed. Their petals shimmered with soft light, casting a magical glow on the ground. "Whoa!" Oliver gasped. The monkey nodded proudly. "These are the moonlight blossoms. They only grow in this part of the jungle, and they light up the night." Oliver knelt down to touch one, feeling its soft petals. The glow brightened as he did, making him smile even more. "This place is amazing," he whispered in awe. The monkey led Oliver further until they came across a wide river. The water flowed gently, but it wasn't just any river. As they approached, Oliver could hear soft whispers coming from the water itself. "What is that sound?" he asked, bending down to listen. The monkey grinned. "That's the Whispering River. It carries the secrets of the jungle. If you listen closely, you might hear stories of old." Oliver sat by the river's edge, closing his eyes as the gentle whispers filled his ears, telling him tales of ancient gnomes and magical creatures. After crossing the Whispering River on a bridge made of vines, the monkey led Oliver to an ancient stone temple hidden deep in the jungle. Vines crawled up the sides of the temple, and moss covered the stone carvings of animals and jungle gods. The entrance was guarded by two giant stone jaguars with glowing eyes. "This temple is said to be the heart of the jungle," the monkey whispered. Oliver, feeling a little nervous but excited, stepped toward the entrance. The jungle suddenly grew quiet, as if it was waiting for him to enter. Oliver stepped inside the ancient temple, feeling a rush of cool air. The chamber was massive, with stone pillars reaching up to the ceiling. But what caught his eye were the glowing symbols on the walls. They pulsed with a faint golden light, illuminating the room with an otherworldly glow. At the center of the chamber was a large stone pedestal, and on it sat an ancient book. The monkey hopped beside Oliver and whispered, "That's the Jungle Book. It holds the secrets of the entire jungle." Oliver's heart raced as he approached the pedestal, his eyes wide with wonder. Oliver reached out to touch the ancient book. As his fingers brushed the cover, the symbols on the walls glowed brighter, and the book began to hum softly. The pages fluttered open on their own, revealing colorful illustrations of jungle creatures, plants, and hidden pathways. "It's alive!" Oliver gasped. The monkey nodded excitedly. The Jungle Book knows everything. It can guide you through the deepest parts of the jungle, but only if it trusts you. Oliver took a deep breath, feeling the energy of the book flow through him. He knew this was the key to unlocking the jungle's mysteries. As Oliver studied the book, a figure appeared from the shadows of the temple. It was a tall, graceful figure covered in leaves and vines, with eyes that shimmered like the stars. "I am the guardian of the jungle," the figure said in a calm, soothing voice. "You seek the wisdom of the jungle, and the Jungle Book has chosen you. But be warned, the jungle tests all who enter." Oliver felt a shiver run down his spine, but he nodded, determined to prove himself worthy. "I'm ready," he said. The guardian smiled softly and extended a hand. "Then follow me." The guardian led Oliver and the monkey out of the temple and into a dense part of the jungle where the trees were twisted together in a giant maze of vines and branches. "Your first test is the labyrinth of vines," the guardian said. "Find the heart of the labyrinth, and you will prove your courage." Oliver looked at the maze before him, the vines shifting and twisting as if alive. "How will I find the way?" he wondered. The monkey clung to his side, nervous. "Trust your instincts," the guardian replied before vanishing into the jungle. As Oliver and the monkey ventured into the labyrinth, the vines closed behind them, trapping them inside. The paths were confusing, and every turn seemed to lead them deeper into the maze. Suddenly, the vines reached out, trying to grab Oliver. He dodged to the side, but one vine wrapped around his leg. "Help!" the monkey cried, jumping from branch to branch to avoid being caught. Oliver quickly pulled out a small knife from his backpack and cut the vine, freeing himself. "We need to stay calm," Oliver said, taking a deep breath. "We'll get through this together." Just when things seemed hopeless, a soft glow appeared in the distance. Oliver and the monkey looked up to see hundreds of tiny fireflies floating in the air, their lights twinkling like stars. The fireflies moved together, forming a glowing path through the maze. "They're showing us the way," Oliver exclaimed. Grabbing the monkey's hand, he followed the fireflies as they led them through the twisting vines. The maze seemed to part before them, the fireflies lighting the way, until they reached the heart of the labyrinth. Finally, Oliver and the monkey reached the heart of the labyrinth, a peaceful clearing surrounded by ancient trees and a small, shimmering pond in the center. The air was calm, and the jungle seemed to hold its breath. In the middle of the clearing stood a tall, stone statue of a jungle deity, its eyes glowing with a warm golden light. "You've passed the test," the guardian's voice echoed through the trees. Oliver smiled, feeling proud. The jungle had tested him, and he had succeeded. He approached the statue, feeling its warmth and the power of the jungle around him. As Oliver stood before the glowing statue, something incredible happened. The statue's hand slowly opened, revealing a small, glowing stone at its center. It pulsed with energy, casting a soft light over the clearing. "This is the heart stone," the guardian's voice echoed. "It holds the power of the jungle, and it is given only to those who prove their bravery and heart." Oliver stepped forward, gently lifting the heart stone from the statue's hands. It was warm to the touch, and he could feel the energy of the jungle flowing through him. "Thank you," he whispered, knowing he had been entrusted with something special. The moment Oliver held the heart stone, the jungle around him seemed to come alive. The trees swayed gently, as if bowing to him, and the plants glowed with vibrant colors. Animals of all shapes and sizes appeared from the shadows, tigers, birds, and even snakes, all gathering around Oliver. They didn't seem threatening. Instead, they bowed their heads in respect. "The jungle welcomes you as its friend," the guardian said softly. Oliver felt a deep connection to everything around him, as if he were now part of the jungle's heart. He smiled, feeling truly at home in the wild. Just as Oliver was feeling at peace, a shadow fell over the clearing. A dark figure emerged from the trees. It was a jungle sorcerer, eyes glowing red with anger. "That heart stone belongs to me," the sorcerer hissed, raising his staff. The animals growled, stepping protectively in front of Oliver. "You'll have to fight for it," Oliver said bravely, stepping forward. The sorcerer unleashed a wave of dark energy toward him, but Oliver quickly raised the heart stone, its light shining bright. The jungle responded, and the plants and animals joined forces with Oliver, protecting him from the sorcerer's dark magic. The sorcerer's dark magic clashed with the heartstone's light, creating a fierce battle of energies. The jungle itself seemed to fight back. The trees stretched out their branches, and vines shot out from the ground, wrapping around the sorcerer. The animals roared and charged, their strength fueled by the magic of the jungle. Oliver stood strong, the heartstone glowing brighter with each passing second. Finally, with a powerful flash of light, the sorcerer was engulfed by the jungle's magic, vanishing into the shadows. "The jungle protects its own," Oliver said, his voice steady. With the sorcerer gone, the jungle erupted in celebration. The animals cheered, birds sang, and the trees swayed in a joyful dance. The guardian appeared once more, smiling warmly. "You have proven yourself, Oliver. The jungle is now your ally." Oliver grinned as the monkey jumped up and down in excitement. "We did it," Oliver said, holding the heartstone high. The jungle was alive with joy, and Oliver felt a deep sense of belonging. The jungle had accepted him as one of its own, and he knew that he had made friends for life. Oliver, with the monkey by his side, returned to the ancient temple where his adventure had begun. The guardian met them at the entrance, and Oliver knew what he had to do. He walked up to the stone pedestal and placed the heartstone back in the statue's hands. The statue's eyes glowed warmly, and the jungle seemed to hum with approval. "The jungle will always be your friend, Oliver," the guardian said. "But the heartstone must remain here to protect it." Oliver nodded, understanding the importance of the jungle's magic. He smiled, knowing this was not a goodbye, but the beginning of a lifelong friendship. With the heartstone returned, it was time for Oliver to leave the jungle. He stood at the edge of the jungle path, looking back at the towering trees and the friends he had made. The monkey waved from a tree branch, and the animals gathered one last time to say goodbye. "I'll visit again," Oliver promised, smiling. The jungle seemed to whisper in agreement, the trees swaying gently in farewell. With one last look, Oliver turned and walked down the path, knowing the jungle would always be a part of him.